So I was constantly in the stores, trying to educate, and I'll get back to education in a minute. Um, but trying to educate and listen to people who are working in the stores day in and day out. Um, so education is a 360-degree um, uh, mission. I've got to educate the people at the top of the organization, the people at the sides of the organization, sides from me, as well as the people below me in the organization. And the message has to be consistent, and it's got to be the same thing. Otherwise, senior management has different expectations for what you and your team are actually doing.
Yep.
And so senior management has to be educated. I was lucky. I had the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest CEO in the world in Bob Ulrich. He was a tough character, but he was fair and he was open to learning, and he got the joke.
Yeah.
And consequently, let's go back to the conversation, Tony, we had about influencing. If I wanted to present a proposal for approval to the budget review committee, let's say I wanted to spend a couple of $1 million on technology. Well, if I walked into the budget review committee without having made the walkarounds to influence people's decisions before, I was shooting myself in the foot. And so I'd make the rounds and make sure that everybody on that committee understood what it was I was pushing for and why. And I would try to get their approval in that initial meeting.
Can we? This is great stuff, King, because this is still an issue that everybody has today, especially with what the cool kids today are calling that total retail loss mindset. Guys like you and myself, and maybe Tony a little bit, we've always been under the impression that there is more to shrink than just the theft aspect, right? There's all of these operational dysfunctions and all of that kind of stuff. When you were having these conversations to influence these different key players, was it the same conversation for all of them, or did you have to customize what you knew was each person's individual pain point, or what would kind of get their attention?
You always play to your audience, Johnny. And so I did customize it specifically to their functional responsibilities. And in spite of that, there were guys who, when I would go into the budget review committee and make my pitch, they would be snipers hiding in the bushes, and they'd start firing away. And I would watch Bob Ulrich, the CEO, begin to get a little smile on his face, because he knew I'd already gone around and had done what I had done. And so I couldn't resist saying, well, gee whiz, Steve, you didn't bring that up when we met before. And everybody would laugh, just like you just did, Tony, because they knew I had already made the rounds. And Steve was just showing off for the rest of the committee members as, he's a cool sniper.